Say where you are is not your limit, yo, Abi. Where you are is not your limit, yo, God. The sky is your limit. The sky is your limit. Don't be content with where you are, oh, Abi. Go, 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 go high. Jesus is your power. Jesus is your strength, yo. We just stop for quit, yo, Abi, Abi. We just stop for real, yo. Go, 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 go high. Go, go, go high. Go, go, go high. Hallelujah, yeah. Go, go, go high. High, high. Go, go, go high. Go, go, go high. Never give up, never give up.
George first.
I be say I talk you. If the devil dey pursue you, make you no stop, make you no run.
Turn it up. This is Starr Radio UK. Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
I mean, you the phrase say you go for it. Make I talk you something now. Say, go. Make you say I'm loud now. Go.
Say where you are is not your limit, yo, Abi. Where you are is not your limit, yo, God. The sky is your limit. The sky is your limit. Don't be content with where you are, oh, Abi. Go, 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 go high. Jesus is your power. Jesus
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Abi you dey phrase say you go for it. Make I talk you something now. Say ga go go. Go go ga go ga go go. Make you say am louder. Go ga
Say
go
where
go.
you are is not your limit, yo, Abi.
Ga go go.
Where you are is not your limit, yo, God.
Ga go
The
go.
sky is your limit. The sky is your limit. Don't be content with where you are, oh, Abi. Go, 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 high. Jesus is your power.
Go go ga go ga go go.
Jesus is your strength, yo.
Ga go go.
We don't stop for quit, yo, Abi, Abi.
Ga go
We
go.
just no for real, yo. Go, 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 high.
Go 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 high. I be say I talk you. If the devil dey pursue you, make you no stop.
Are you ready to turn it up?
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home.
on your smartphone.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the renewed show. Yes, I want you to see me as much as possible. Just need to return my camera so you can see me better. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, wherever you have joined me from. I am very excited again to come on your screen. Glory to God. This is a wonderful day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. You know, today I'm so excited to discuss a very wonderful topic with this gentleman, Mr. Philip Debrah. And so I wouldn't waste much of your time. I will go into our discussion. But before we go into the discussion, I have a lot of people who come up to me and say, Charlotte, do you work with Starr Radio? Are you on their pay bill? I want to make a very clear statement. I voluntarily have my show on Starr Radio. This is a paid show by myself. So Starr Radio has really done me a great deal of favor to accommodate me on their airlines. And this is the reason why, because I did send them a proposal and they accepted. But the more reason why I am airing on Starr Radio, all my scripture or the reason I am on the show is based on Matthew 25 verse 14 to 30, which talks about the parable of the talents. There was some that were given 5, and there were some that were given 3. And there was some that was given 1. The one that had 5 went to work with it and doubled his talent. And one who was given 2 also went to work with it and doubled the talent. There was one that was also given 1 and he didn't do anything with the talent. And in the pandemic, if there was anything I was reflecting about my own life, then I was reflecting about what I was doing with my talent. Obviously, I am a writer, and I've written many. I've written 2 books by the grace of God. But apart from just writing the books, I wasn't coming out on the screen, and I wasn't doing anything else. I was sitting on this potential of coming to speak to people, of telling people about my experience, of telling people how I had overcome many challenges. And when I reflected on the pandemic, I mean, God specially told me that, Charlotte, it doesn't matter how righteous you are, it doesn't matter all the goodness you are doing, but I tell you, if you come and meet me in heaven, and the talent that I have not given you, you have not maximized it, you have not outused it, you have not outpoured it to people, I'm going to tell you, I don't know you. Because that's exactly what happened to the person who had just one talent. So he said, verse 24 of Matthew 25. Matthew 25:24. It says that he who also had received the one talent came forward saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gathered where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers at least, and at my coming I should have received what was my own interest. So he took the talent from him and gave it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So if you see me on the Renewed Show, I do it gladly because of this revelation I had. It doesn't matter, you may be listening to me and you may be the most righteous, most holy, most sanctified, most anointed, most separated. But if those gifts that God has given you is not impacting any life, I want you to know that this is where you'll be ending. You'll be cast out, and in that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So if you are listening and you are attached to contribute or to sponsor the Renewed Show, please, all the details, bank details are on the screen. It's rolling. So please do connect from there. Support what I am doing. Another misconception, just even today, someone said, oh, you are a pastor's wife. I want to make it clear, I'm not a pastor's wife. I'm not a pastor's wife. And I wish I was. My husband, I thank God, my husband has been pronounced to be a pastor. And I'm praying he will be a pastor and a very good pastor in the name of Jesus. But he's not a pastor. I am the pastor, and I'm not the pastor's wife. So please, those of you who come into my inbox and asking all sorts of questions, my husband is a good man, he has a good heart. And I'm the pastor, and I'm also trying to be a good woman. Thank you. So please, I have many programs coming up. This Saturday is the Renewed I Survive conference. We'll be talking about building relationship, how to build long-lasting relationship. So it will be a Zoom event. If you are interested in joining, please connect with me. It's www.therenewednetwork.org. Message us, check our Facebook pages, Instagram pages, The Renewed Network, and then you'll be able to join this Saturday's event. It's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Myself, I'll be speaking. Celebrant Emmanuel Asari will be speaking. And also my number one respiratory clinical nurse, Adra Frema, will also be on, telling us all the impact of relationships on our mind. And also come on the 4th of December, there will be a mega conference at the Shiloh Worship Center with seasoned women of God, of which I am part. It is called the Overcomer Conference. I just shared to you that I've written books, but I've also overcome many hurdles. And sometimes we have all of them on the inside of us. This is a place that I will be sharing, bear sharing, how to overcome certain circumstances, the things that I have overcome, and even how I am overcoming today. Join us on 4th December 2021 at Shiloh Worship Centers. You have the likes of Apostle Melody and Darren Pill, Pastor Annette Reed, Pastor Jennifer Moore, and myself. It is going to be amazing. It's pastors morning, female pastors morning. But hey, even if you are not a pastor, you are in ministry, join us at Shiloh Worship Center. Book your seat at Eventbrite to join. And also, Black Women in Care have an event this weekend. So the weekend is packed. If you want to know more about opportunities in health and social care, join the Black Women in Care Forum. You have the likes of the first female Black surgeon who will be speaking at such event. And then also as an ambassador to the United Nations and also a peace ambassador to the United Kingdom, today marks the first day of our End Violence Against Women. So if you are listening to me and you are in an abusive relationship, I want you to know that support is out here for you. Dial the domestic violence hotline. There would be someone that would come to your aid. And also call 911 if you need an escape. They are there. The social services are there. And if you want to connect with me, I endorse it. UN Global 21, Stop the Roller Coaster Now, End Violence Against Women. It doesn't matter where they are. Violence or abuse against women, there is no, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your age, your religion, your geographical location, and even if you have 10 degrees or PhD, if your husband is abusive or if your partner is abusive, they will abuse you. So join me as I campaign each and every day from the 25th November till the 10th of December 2021, End Violence Against Women. So without much ado, let me introduce my guest, Mr. Philip Debrah. I really appreciate this young man. We met at the Ghana High Commission, so it's really a pleasure to have you, sir. We made it happen. And you know, as we are talking, I believe that your appearance on the show is very important because education is very important. You know, people are having a misconception about me. That means that they need more information and education, and you are here to do just that. I believe so. So Mr. Debrah is a software engineer and also the director of London School of Business and Technology. Mr. Debrah, welcome to the Renewed Show.
Thank you very much, Charlotte Odoom. I think you are doing a great show, and I love to be on your show. So I think, as you said, we met at the Ghana High Commission. We plan to make this happen, and there we go. So that's the way forward. Thank you.
Welcome again. Welcome. Just introduce a little bit of yourself to my listeners. You know, I just mentioned what you do, but I'm just entitled maybe all about you that we need to know in a nutshell.
Okay. I think first of all, I'll thank your listeners. I'll say hello to everyone who has made time to listen to us today, and also commend Charlotte Odoom for the great show that she's putting in place here, which is a show that basically is going to motivate people. So we really appreciate you making time to put this show in place, and we recommend people who want to support. I believe some of your listeners are willing to support, and they should come forward, take your number and support you so that you'll be able to do more. And I think maybe at a point, maybe we have to do it 2 hours when we start getting more sponsoring.
That's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. My producers are listening. I'm sure they will do something about it.
Yes, it's a great show. I think people need it. And during this COVID, it's not just you being indoors, but you need some program that was going to motivate you and you'll be able to move forward. Yeah. Okay. So to come to your main question, you wanted me to introduce myself to your listeners, and I think you've mentioned my name already as Philip Debrah. As you said, I'm a software engineer for Gazprom Energy, so I'm based in Manchester. That's where I'm working. That's mine. And London School of Commerce, I call it a project that we, during this COVID, we be able to come up with the education platform. So that's a project that I'm a director on that on the London School of Technology and Business. So that's one of the program that we are working on. And to give you a little bit, I have a beautiful wife and 3 kids. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so basically, currently, the project that we are working on is one of the key things that I know we're going to talk more about it. But that's all simple about me. I think as time goes on, I'll be able to share more, and people.
And just for laughter, your wife is not a pastor's wife, is she?
No, my wife is not a pastor's wife.
Okay, thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. And Mrs., we appreciate you so much for releasing Mr. to be on the program today. You know, I want us to talk about potential. So tell us all about potential, what it is, you know, and how people can discover their potential.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think generally when you send me the program, the renewed program, the topic that we're going to discuss, like that's really amazing. We are looking at unlocking potential, which is very key to everyone. But to talk general about potential, you started with the parable of the parable of the talent in the Bible, which basically I think before I start that, let me also add one quotation from Jeremiah 29 verse 11, which is it also talk about potential, but it says here, "For I know the plan that I have for you, declared the Lord, plan for welfare and not for calamity. It gives you future and hope." So I think when you talk about the parable, it's related to what God plans are for us. In general, when we look at potential, sometimes people are always thinking it's all about energy and agility, but it's not just about potential. Sometimes look at in general, we are looking at people who have the capacity to develop something for the future. And that's when I look at Jeremiah relating to what God's plans are for you, and he wants to give hope for the future. So we look at everyone having something that they want to develop. How do you develop that? How are you able to see your potential and you're able to develop it? Sometimes people might have people might have a certain potential or a goal to become a lawyer, a pastor, a doctor, nurse, IT, engineering, different roles that I can. But that potential is basically something that you have nurtured. You have to go through a certain process to be able to bring that potential out. For instance, we talk about, let me give an example about football players. They start with the passion, and then they develop that passion gradually, then they become a professional footballers. So in terms of potential, it's relating to people identifying what they will be able to do and developing on that. So that's what I can share. And one thing that it's also in our society that sometimes I always there are certain key things that influence our potential. It can come from our friends, our families, or our colleagues. And this is when it put pressure, but we are not looking at that. We are just looking at how people can, what basically goes into potential. So I would say developing something that will build your future.
Developing something that will build your future. You know, when we are birthed forth, or when a baby is born, the baby is born into nurture and nature. So how after we have discovered our potential, how can these two things affect our potential as we grow?
So how it affects our potential as it goes. Basically, I always say is that anything that is going to affect our potential, it first of all, knowing about yourself. And as I gave you first example about footballers trying to develop their career, and knowing yourself, that is the key thing that I always want to put in here after you discovering your potential and taking responsibility to start that career, that skills that you have. And also if it's a business, taking that responsibility to start it. So that basically, you have the potential, you know that you want to start a career. What career do you want to start in? Do you want to do nursing? Do you want to do an IT? Do you want to do your own business? Then you start gradually. And the key, so whilst you are doing that, one of the key things that I also add to that question that you asked is you have to assess your skills and performance. If you don't have the skills, you don't want to be there, because that's basically going to be a challenge for you. One example that I said, possibly if I'm not a good player, I don't want to be on the pitch playing. So it's basically, when you know yourself, you know those key things, your skills, your potential, then that gives you the edge to know what you want to put for the future. And one key thing that I also want to share as well in terms of putting all those things in place is you also have to identify your strengths and your weakness. So having your skills and you have to identify those two things. Then in terms of starting your career and starting in the business, you know what strength you have. So I always encourage people, write your strengths and your careers down. Put it on a sheet of paper so that you'll be able to say it. If you don't know it, ask your family, ask your colleague, can you tell me what you think I can do better? So I think that there was a question asking people to tell their strength. People can talk about their strength, but weakness, a lot of people are not able to talk about that. So you can even contact people to find out, to see how they'll be able to identify, and then you put that in place. And finally, I think one of the things, identify what you love doing. When there are certain things that you love doing that is your passion, it can turn into a potential. You do it with ease. Things that you love doing, that it can be any form of skills, music, football, education. Some people, as you said, I love it when you mention about when you wanted to write book, the time that you put in. When we started the show, you talk about the time that you put in to put your book in place. That basically is a passion that you are putting in there, and you can see how you've developed a book out of that. So that's beautiful. And that, when we're talking about potential, that would be one great example that I'll share here for your listeners. Yeah.
Wow. Your passion can turn into your potential. Did you hear that, someone? This is so awesome. I really love it. And today, that book, which is 365 Days Fearless, is on Waterstones. It's on Google Play, guys. It's on Google Play. So, it's that good. So do grab your copies, 365 Days Fearless by Charlotte Odoom. I want to ask you more questions. How can someone unlock their potentials, and what can also hinder them from bringing out their full potential?
So, as I outline some of the discoveries, there are a couple of things you can do in terms of unlocking your potential. Working out your goals. So when I'm saying working out your goals, I mentioned initially, if you nurture that skills, you develop it gradually. So that basically, you work out your goal. Goals does not come in a day. I think now that we are seeing social media, that turns people in a million within some few days, but that's a different thing. But when we are talking about people who want to become doctor, engineers, nurses, they nurture those skills footballers, we see them playing maybe at the age of 16, 18 years. They have started that skills at a very young age. And this is where I say work towards your goal. So that's one example that I'll give. And I always tell, I'll add this one as a strategy as well. Dream big and start small. This too, when you connect it, it makes it beautiful. Why do you want to dream big and start small? You don't want to dream big and start big. Because whenever you dream big, you start big. Sometimes if you don't have certain things like finances, you don't have the capacity, then you are not going to be able to put your dreams in place. So you start, you dream big, but you start small. And one another strategy that I also want to share with your listeners is building a good habit. That makes things that brings the magic around you. So when you are able to build up a habit, good things comes to you. And that's one thing that I'll share. And also, we also have to challenge ourselves. We don't have to be comfortable in one area. That sometimes it doesn't mean you can't change your career. You need to challenge yourself. If I might give you an example that I'm currently working on IT, but my background was finance, and when I realized that at a point, let me do something different. And then I started doing some IT courses. Then now I went into IT field. So you can sometimes change your you can sometimes change it by just adding up a little bit, and you'll be able to move into another area. When you think one area is not working out for you, yes, find out what next is close to what you are doing that you can move on. You try new stuff, and that's also basically one thing that I want to share. And the key thing that I want to also read books. We intend to ignore that, but it's very key that if we have books that we read, it brings magic to us. It does so much that initially I might tell you I wasn't passionate about reading. At a point, I just made time to read, and that is very very energetic. It gives you so much knowledge that you intend. There are certain things that you listen, it's not the same. I always say listening and reading is never the same. Yeah, so I'll encourage that if we can read a lot, it will also help us. And the last thing that if we want to unlock our potential, that I want to share as well, is embrace your failure. If we are able to embrace our failure, then that is very, because it makes it easy for us. We don't beat ourselves up and say, "Oh, I failed, I can't do it again." You failed and you said, "Oh, that's a good try." Because if you never fail, you will not be able to move on. And I think that's the last thing that I'll share with your listeners. That yes, with the strategies, I think I've given a couple of them anyway. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Embrace your failure. People, this is so true. I remember this very second book when I was writing it, and the first time I did the book, I wanted to self-publish on Amazon. I was advised, "Oh, publish it. You know, Charlotte, this book must come out so well and exquisite. It must come out with excellence." So at the time, I think it's 2017, 18, I couldn't publish, and I was so down. It took another 2 years. And this time when I did it the way I was advised to, look at where it is flying. So sometimes I can attest that it is really good for you to embrace your failure. And the fact that you said dream big and start small. But you know, that was the question I was coming to the youth of today. I'm not so sure they understand dream big and start small, because everybody now is a self-made millionaire. So and so what would you say about that?
Yeah, I think that's a key. So, sometimes if you are not able to understand your dreams and understand how your dreams are, maybe you might want to one example that I'll give to a startup business is you want to start up a business and you want to own your own facility. Maybe you want to rent a place, you want to get all the equipment in. Then that basically, even though you have a dream here, if you are not able to provide those facilities, you might think that you would not be able to make the business happen. But currently, everything can go online. You can start small. You can start it online. And now, when we're talking about technology, it's like magic. During this COVID, people have stayed home and they are still working. So you can look at it from one perspective, that do I want to start online and start small and get the audience, and then when I can see that I will be able to pay for my facility, I'm going to rent a facility and put, because if you start a business with such expenses, probably you are going to collapse. You are going to collapse it, because initially the income that you are receiving is not that great. I don't know how much person is making, but I believe that startups have got a small amount of income initially. So that's what I'm talking about. So I think that's one example that I'll share here. So you have the dream by identifying how you'll be able to start small and get bigger.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Debrah, for sharing that. I want to read some of our comments. Before I came on the show, somebody asked me, said, Charlotte, do they give scholarships? And I said, okay, can you send the program and then they are whatever they are interested in doing? He said, no, it's for my 3-year-old. I said, oh my goodness, look at the expectation there. I'm not so sure they provide scholarship for 3-year-olds. But let me just take some comments. This show is engaging. Share your thoughts about how people can unlock their potential, what can be their limitation, and what you expect in terms of unlocking your potential. You can contact the studio line. It's 02033711882. 02032711887. So please do share, call in and tell us what you think about unlocking your potential. Elf Duplantis Echo says fire back, my brother. Thank you so much. Auntie Nanaba, we miss you so much. She said, I am watching from Ghana. Oh, thank you so much for watching us from Ghana. He said, I have shared the link also. I see one of my friends, I see Zanita Koripsa is also watching. I say thank you so much for watching, and also all our fans on the YouTube, on TuneIn, wherever you have joined us from. Thank you so much for watching the program. And we are going to proceed. So that we can know more of what Mr. Debrah does, and why people will ask me, people will ask me if they can get scholarship, So I think we've spoken much about potential. How do education come into play when we talk about unlocking the potential?
Okay. So education play a key role. I think we've seen for centuries, for years back, we can see that people go through education to get. We have teachers who do the magic. They teach you, and then you become the engineer, you become the doctor, you become the scientist, you become whoever you want to be after going through education. So I think I always say let's give a thumbs up for our teachers. But as you're asking, in terms of education, you if you identify what you want to do, then you put yourself on a program that basically after you finish your education, then you'll be able to apply for a job, which after you've applied for a job, then you start making income. So we always say that education is a key to unlocking people's potential, and that's one of the reasons why London School of Business and Technology, we have set up a platform, which currently this is an idea that was born during this COVID, because we realized that people were sitting at home, and you can't go to campus, you can't do anything. So we started building a platform. This is a platform that engage learners for their foundation, for their degree, and for their masters. So it's not just people sometimes get confused with any learning platform. This is like a university program. So this program, you will be able to access it everywhere in the world, from Africa, from Asia, from wherever part of the world. So far as you have your laptop, you have your phone, we can give you access to a learning material. But currently, our program focus on business and technology, and we have social health care program as well. And if you are studying from Africa, you'll be able to get a UK certification from our partner universities, Anglia Ruskin, UCLan, Middlesex University, couple of universities that we have partnership. I think these are a couple of ones that I'm mentioning. So we have a platform that integrates us into you getting a certification from the main university.
Wow, this is something great. And to hear that you even started from the lockdown, wow, big congratulations. That is really, I'm sure that's really unlocking your own potential. And
Yes.
finding a solution to a problem in the society. Obviously, people couldn't go out, people couldn't do much. They had a lot of time on their hands, to study online, because most of education was online. So London School of Business, and you have partnered with other universities. So if you can explain to us a little bit more, like I said, somebody was asking me, how do we get scholarship? Is this a scholarship funded program? Is it a scholarship funded school? How long are the courses? And the courses are just limited to business. Are they looking at any other future courses or not? So please talk to us more about all the programs that
Thank you very much for
great work. I would say great work.
Thank you very much. I think that's a good question to really explain how the program, in terms of, I think I'll break it down. Let me start with, if you are doing foundation, it's 1 year. So foundation, let me explain how foundation works. Foundation is for can be an adult who hasn't got in Ghana we call it senior secondary school education. He hasn't got, he have not even been in education. Yes. So we put you on the foundation because you don't have the qualification to do your degree course. Then that is when we want to unlock your potential. People are waiting to have that opportunity, because you go to the universities, they don't give you that platform. If you don't have the qualification, immediately they refuse you. But if we said, if you don't have the qualification, come and join the foundation program. Okay, the foundation program is £1,005. It's a 1 year program. You do it online. But what we support as well, we have one-on-one support. And when you finish the foundation program, then we will progress you into a degree program. So that's an opportunity for everyone who wants to come back to, who hasn't got the qualification, writing exams to get into onto the university. You can use our foundation to be a stepping stone, and after you got your certificate, these are fully accredited program. If you can see our brochure, we have all those information from qualifier and AT80. These are UK qualified bodies. So during this COVID, whilst we are working on the platform, we were working on accreditation as well. And to jump onto the degree program, a degree program is 3 years. Okay, so we have we have it in. You can do it in a blended learning, or you can do it fully online. So if the person is in Ghana, I always use Ghana because that's one common platform. If you are in Ghana and you are doing the program, you can do 2 years online and you come and finish the final year in the UK.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
awesome. So that even gives you a traveling experience as well. You
Yes.
get more, so it's more like an exchange program.
Exchange
The
program.
kind
Yes.
of different, but this time you are coming in to do your own, finish your own course. It can be a degree or master's.
Yes.
Do they get any form of scholarship at all?
So with our fees, that's what one key is. We created this to make it more affordable for the international market as well, because they know how much they are paying. Example, if you come in international student, I think if you are doing an IT program, maybe you might pay minimum 9,000 a year. Okay, but we are putting currently our yearly we are charging 1,500. So that is more than a scholarship. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I can, even I myself, I'm shocked you are saying 1,005.
Yes. So that's what. So the first year you pay 1,500. Second year you pay 1,500. Final year the program the cost the fee changes. Why? Because we are putting you through the main university. Okay, so when you are putting through the main university, their charges is very ridiculous, but it's very higher. But what we're doing is that we still we charge you depending on what the fees of the university that we are putting you into the final year. But it ranges between 4,500 to 9,000. So
Wow,
we
so
can
that means,
you can still save in the final year.
wow, this
Yes.
is really awesome. Wow, there was a question I wanted to find out as well. You know, as you are talking about education and unlocking your key, unlocking your potential with education, your program, is it limited to just foreign students, or even people in the UK can sign up,
Yes.
or
So
any people all over the world?
it's all over the world. If UK students, so this is not only for international students. This is also for home students. So it's just like you taking level 3, level 2, 3, 4, 5, and we progress you into the main university. So our platform, UK based students, we are targeting UK based students as well, and
Okay.
yeah. So they are also part of it.
Wow, that's excellent. And I'll ask another question again, because I know here in the UK, depending on your circumstances, sometimes you can get more of a bursary or something. So if someone in the UK is applying, do they still have to pay, or do they, your company or London Business School does this bursary for them, or they still have to pay some remittances towards the course?
Okay, with finance, I think that's one of the things that we are still discussing. With the finance, we have to go through a certain process for the UK student to have the finance. But currently the framework that we put in the first 2 years, because we are putting the fees at that very affordable price. When you get to the final year, you can receive it. But in the early stage, that is what we are still making arrangement for. So that's basically something that we know that at a point in home students will be able to access our program with government support. And we are also looking at yes, we are looking into that, and they can also access finance. That's all something that we are also working on that, because I think it's already a package in the current framework. So we are looking to put it in ours as well.
You know, somebody says that when we talk about education is like putting people in a box. They just condition you. They don't teach you how to handle money, how to handle home. People will come out as business or lawyers, and still it looks like they have a messed up life, or they are not making it at all on in their living, coming to a university system. So what would you say? Because it's quite a huge investment if someone has to, pay all these just to unlock their potential. So tell us more. What do you think is the main benefit, in investing into unlocking your potential?
So I think some of the I haven't even mentioned our program is not only been limited to UK. We have a partnership with a Greece university, which Professor George is a leader on the Greece platform. So we are always trying to expand our wings. And if, for instance, if people who want to have an experience traveling to our partnership university, they can continue. We can make an arrangement for them to go for a workshop or to go and study with our partnership universities. And aside that, what we are also doing, as I mentioned, we focus on business and IT. When we have something called a hub, what the hub is doing is that the students, because they are doing it online, we are engaging a practical, like an internship, which basically, while the student is studying, during the time that he's on break, he will be able to have a hub where he's going to work on the project that he's working on. So we don't want to leave students because they are doing it online. We need to engage them. So these are some of the things that we are putting in place, and the hub will help students to get to gain the practical learning skills whilst they finish their course. So if you are doing IT, you'll be able to work on a project. So when you finish, you have hands-on. If you are doing web designing, it's not just doing just learning how to doing the writing, but you do it practical as well. And this is how we engage people on our platform. So if you are doing business, we will put you in put you on a project where you learn about business, learning about finance, learning about administration, learning about other things that will be able to enhance your skills.
Wow, Mr. Debrah, you are doing such an amazing job, you and your team. This is so fantastic. I really want to ask you probably a last but one question before you share with us your details and also how people can access you or the website to kind of apply on to the School of Business and Technology. So just a few questions, because I know some people listening back in Africa will say, if I pay so much, job crisis is here in our country. Are there any guarantees of job, or do they get any form of job placement if someone should do a foundation degree or just a degree on that? What kind of experience would they gain in terms of job handling?
Yeah, in terms of job handling, as I mentioned, the skills you are getting means that you are ready to get into the market. And we have something called a career advisor. I'm basically part of the team, which when you finish, we have that program. What it's going to do is that whatever skills that you've acquired, we want to make sure that you have the practical knowledge of it. Then we will help you to build your CV. Okay, you build your CV. We put you through the necessary channels that will be able to put you into the job market. So we have career advice during the seminars that we organize for the students as well. Yeah.
Wow. If you're listening to us and you want to find out more, this is Mr. Philip Debrah. He is a software engineer and also the director of London School of Business and Technology. Was such a grace to come onto the renewed show. I tell you, education is very powerful. If you are not in the know, you'll be misled. If you are not in the know, you'll not be able to unlock your potential. And no investment is too big in terms of education. I remember I used to work in a nursing home, and I had a radiologist there, and he was working as an activities coordinator because he had just finished uni. And I asked, why do you have a radiology? You are a radiologist. Why are you working as an activities coordinator? And she told me one thing. She said, Charlotte, I'm waiting for my opportunity. So when you have a school certificate, it's never a waste. It's never ever a waste. At any time, you can pick that potential, which is the skill you have gained from the education and training, and work with it, and you will make your income out of it. Thank you so much, Mr. Debrah. So how do people connect to you? How do they connect to the school?
So,
and where are you based?
We are based in London. Even recently, we had a partnership with a college in Ghana, which they are running our program in Ghana. But if you want to get you want to get us, where you can find us, go to www.lsbt.co.uk. So that's our platform, and I'll put my number out. I'm on WhatsApp. You can text me anytime. My number is 07960572713. That's my number. So anyone who wants more information, yes, you can get in touch with me, and I'll be able to give you more information.
Repeat the number again for me.
Yeah, 07960572713.
Plus 4479. Yes.
60 57
7
27
7
13.
13. So you can contact Mr. Philip Debrah. He said you can readily get him on WhatsApp. It's +44 if you're outside of the UK, 79605 72713. The website also is www.lsbc.com. Make sure you visit the website, know more about the courses, business and IT. And someone listen, even if you don't have access to the universities, London School of Business and Technology is giving you all the background at very, very affordable price. And I'm sure I'll be able to generate a code. So if you are joining from this show, you get a code, a special discount.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to chip in as well. Anyone, as I said, we do career training. We do the career training. So anyone who want to, especially people who are here, who want to who want to move into IT, we have short programs for software engineering programs that we can train you to become a software engineer, project management. So we have short courses that people can also. So when you get in touch with me, I'll be able to talk people through how we can do that. Currently, we've trained a lot of people who are working at the moment. So yes, be able to do that as well. I think is the line okay? Can you hear me?
Thank you so much, Mr. Debrah, for coming. We are so appreciative of your coming on the Renewed Show. It's just about it.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. And I always want to thank you as well for inviting me onto your show. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we are just about finishing.
Okay.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you. So, someone I want to acknowledge these foods who have sponsored these foods, organic and natural cereals for the whole family. Please do contact these foods, and also Mook Blaze Media. They said if you want to do your flyers, if you want to do your commercials, photo shoots, use TRS21. Contact Mook Blaze Media. Look at our flyer. Look at Look at our flyer, you get all their contacts there. Code TRS21 and they will give you a special discount. Thank you everybody who has joined. Don't forget that you keep sharing. Join me this weekend also on the Renewed Network I Survive conference as we share building relationships, how to build long-lasting relationships. Myself, Celebrant Emmanuel Asari, Adra Frema will be on talking about that. And also, don't forget, 4th December at Shiloh Worship Center, Female Pastors Morning at 10 a.m. It's a breakfast, live breakfast for you. So come and be seasoned to be an overcomer for the season. I love you all. God bless you. Support what I do. Be part of our sponsorship. All our bank details have been streamed. If you want to contact me, inbox me. Don't stay silent in abuse. Contact me and we'll talk you through all the support you need. Is +44 7722929 or visit the Renewed Network page on Facebook, the Renewed Network page on Instagram, even on YouTube. I love you all. Thank you, Mr. Debrah, for coming, and have a lovely evening. Thank you all. Thank you to my producers. God bless you for your great job. Bye.
Fine.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the Renewed Show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.